Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Hey Josh, come on, you're gonna be late to school.
Mommy!
Dad and I gotta go.
Don't we have dinner tonight?
Yes, we have dinner at Grammy's tonight, don't forget, 5 o'clock.
Sure, always.
Have a good day. Love you.
See you later.
Bye Mom, love you.
Love you, sweetie. Have a great day. Mwah.
You too.
Be good. Drive safe.
Mom, you drive safe.
All right, Mom. I'm leaving now,
Okay, honey.
and I have play rehearsal tonight, so I'll see you afterwards.
Okay, honey. I'll see you late then.
Okay, Mom. Bye. I'm on my way.
Okay, bye. Love you. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, so we're gonna get to school. And then who's driving later?
Michael.
Okay, tell him to drive safe too.
I will. Good night. Bye. Love you. Bye. Hi. How are you?
Madison, I missed you.
I miss you. How's everything?
It's okay. I'm having a pretty bad day. I just bombed a math test.
Did you even study for it?
Second semester senior. I don't study.
That's great. Well, do you want to graduate with us?
Whatever. I'll get my grades up. It's not a big deal.
All right. Do you want anything to drink?
Yeah, sure. I'll have ice water.
Okay.
What are you doing for spring break?
I'm going to Cabo.
Lucky. Oh, I could use a vacation.
Oh my gosh, speaking of Cabo, you say Jose Cuervo.
Oh no.
You want some?
I don't know. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, like, you did fail your math test.
Yeah.
It's the least you could do. I mean,
Yeah.
you need to, like, help your sadness. Ugh. Disgusting.
That's delicious.
I think we should have one more. Oh, that was harsher than the first. I have to go back to yearbook right now. Mr. Lander needs me to help him PDF our deadline.
Oh, well then maybe we shouldn't take these.
No, we're taking it. It'll be fine. We'll be back in like 5 minutes, so it's not a problem.
Are you sure?
I'm completely sure. Might as well just take this for the road.
Whatever floats your boat.
Let's go. Wait.
Maybe in a little bit.
You should have some. Just have some.
Alright.
What is one more gonna do? You already had 3.
Alright.
I love this song.
Can you turn on the radio and make it loud?
Yeah.
I don't listen.
I'm not even that drunk. I'm just kind of tipsy.
Hello?
Road, Josh.
Oh, hey man, what's up? No, I'm good. How are you?
There's been a horrendous accident on Mulholland. Students are involved. Rita, please call 911. Rita, 911.
Hi, this is 911. Yes, hi. This is Calabasas High School calling. There's been a horrible accident outside of school. We need someone to come right away, please. Stay on the line. I'm a transport fire department.
He's stable. I'll take him over here, get some vital signs on him. How do you feel standing up? Everything okay? Yeah. Back, neck, okay? Walk over here, take a seat on the curb, okay? I'm gonna check your lungs, okay? Just slow your breathing down. Slow it down.
Please help us! Please help us! Please help us!
What's hurting you, Elijah? Okay, we have diminished lung sounds on the left side. We're gonna C-spine her, we're gonna get her going, okay?
My hands are shaking.
Okay.
My hands are shaking.
She had good, strong equal grip. Okay, Madison. I'm going over! Help me! Okay. We got 2 in the vehicle here. Sit in this one right here. here. I just got into it. Okay. Look at the vehicle, Ron.
LA Mulholland IC. LA, I have my additional resources stage on Mulholland Highway, Belmont.
Hey, Madison. Gotta be ready. Wait, 1, 2, 3. How we doing right there? Okay. Good right here on the head.
We're gonna get you to the hospital. What we're gonna do when we get to the back, we'll do a pre-assessment.
Okay.
I want to address all these wounds.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
What is that? Oh my God.
Be okay.
Yes, you are. Okay? We're gonna take good care of you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Copy. Low bump, Madison. Okay, where's she going?
Honey, we're gonna call Mrs. Foster. Call your parents. Alright? Okay. I promise we're gonna take care of you. These are great guys.
This guy sees when we need it back. Be able to walk, okay? Walk.
Can't walk, I can't feel my legs.
Turn around, face me. Hands at your side. Heels and toes together. Hands at your side. See them on the curve over there. All right, take a deep breath. See how your lips around there like a straw. Blow, 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 blow.
Is this the driver?
Yes, it is.
Book him. Manslaughter.
Hook him up, man. All right, sink the back.
Are you feeling any relief on your breathing?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay, good. Talk to me, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna be to the hospital real soon. Ready? Everything's clear? We're good. Madison. Madison, you. Got it right there. We clear? Madison, talk to me. Madison. Okay, give me a report. I got it real quick. We have our main complaint right here is on the left-hand side. Her lungs, I believe those collapsed. I need a needle on her.
Give me a milligram of atropine, please, IV right now. Okay, let's get portable x-ray in here. Okay, stop CPR.
dead.
Hi, ma'am. Are you the mother of Ike Fuchs?
Yes.
May we come inside and talk to you?
Sure. What's going on?
Let's have a seat over here and I'll tell you what's going on, okay?
What's this about?
Ma'am, the reason we're here, Ike was involved in a serious car accident this morning. And he was severely injured. And want to tell you that he succumbed to his injuries and he passed away. He's not here anymore. I'm so sorry for your loss.
No, it has to be a mistake.
Sorry.
I'm not hearing breath sounds. It's got a pneumothorax. Oh, I can feel the broken ribs. Okay. I got air coming out. That should be breathing easier now. You breathing any easier? Okay, breathing easier now. I'm gonna lightly touch you. Tell me if you can feel this.
I can't feel anything.
Hey, Michael? Yeah? I need your help to cooperate. I'm gonna test the reflexes here. Michael's doing okay. He's got some broken ribs. He's got a chest tube in here. But the more serious injury that we see is he doesn't seem to be moving his legs from the waist down. And I'm not sure if this paralysis is permanent or not. It may just be a bad bruise and some swelling. We're giving him some medicine to bring down swelling. The ribs are going to be fine. He's got a chest tube in. But we don't know the total extent of his injuries. I have a neurosurgeon. That's possible. We have to do an MRI and find out exactly how bad things are. We'll have a neurosurgeon come see him too, and then we'll know more in a few hours.
I can't feel anything.
For DUI manslaughter.
Bail for you again.
These handcuffs off you. I'm gonna take the right one off, put your hand on top of your head and don't move, okay? On the back of your head. Same with the left one. Okay, you got anything else on your jewelry or anything? Alright, go ahead and turn around and sit on the floor for me. Take your shoes off. Take your socks off one by one. Slowly turn them inside out for me. Don't shake them in the air. Enjoy that sight. You gotta live with this the rest of your life now. Alright. You have a California driver's license?
Yes.
Do you remember the number?
No.
No. Can you roll it her?
Yes. 91302.
Calabasas?
Yes.
Okay, Josh, come out this way. I'm ready to touch down really easy here.
good. Now look down. Josh, step on the other 2 footprints. Turn sideways and get a profile. Look straight ahead. Keep your head up. Okay, that's good too. I'm going to put you back in this room. Let you make your phone calls now.
Mom, it's Josh. I'm in jail. I got in an accident. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I really hurt Madison. I'm so sorry. Please come pick me up. I'm so scared. I really hurt Madison and I think I killed Ike. I only took 3 shots. I wasn't that drunk. I'm so sorry.
You got one of those blankets right there. Down the hall to the left. Walk the Kelly, please. Turn to the right and go in. You can step in this first one right here. Step inside. Have a seat on the ledge.
Court's in session. You can be seated. Case of the People versus Michael Lewis, case number PC 23142. And Mr. Lewis was convicted of 192 subsection C subsection 1 vehicle manslaughter without drugs, but with gross negligence. And he's found guilty by 12 jurors. Collided with the victim in a marked crosswalk, causing fatal injuries. And people like to be heard.
My name is Alan Katz. I am one of the lucky dads. I got to see other parents bury their children instead of mine. Even though Michael made a horrible mistake that resulted in a horrible tragedy. It seems we have an opportunity right now, Michael, and every single person in this room to take some responsibility. To let our kids, our friends, the people we love know that we gotta stop using these cell phones in a way that every day in the news we're seeing someone else is dying, someone else is being hurt. This is our opportunity to make sure it doesn't happen to someone else. And we know, everyone in this room knows that right now as we're talking, someone's young child is being hit because someone looked down at a cell phone to text or call. I don't think it's about Michael right now. I think he's paid his price. I think it's about all of us, and I'd like you to take that into consideration.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Lewis. I'm Michael's mother. Michael has suffered a tragic accident. He dances, he sings, he's not going to be able to perform any of those things. Incarcerating him will be even more tragic because I agree that texting and driving with children is absolutely tragic. And what better example than Michael here for the community? Please don't send him away.
Okay, is there any reason a sentence cannot be pronounced at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, probation is denied. The recommended sentence for this particular penal code violation is 4 years in state prison. We're here on the case of Joshua Cohen. After a jury trial of 12 people found Mr. Cohen guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, vehicle manslaughter with alcohol, in which in the trial, his female passenger was killed as a result of the accident.
I know Josh. I've known him for years. He's certainly a good boy, but this is an unforgivable act. I mean, I'm glad he's a basketball player, and I'm glad he's 6'3", and he has a career ahead of him, but my daughter is dead. She's not going to enjoy another day on this planet. She was filled with promise, too. She, too, was the president of a club. She, too, was accepted to major universities, and she won't enjoy one of those moments because of his actions. It's not okay to drink. It's not okay to be drunk in the middle of the daytime. It's not okay to take a life. I like this young man. He killed my daughter. And I would expect maximum sentence.
Josh is my youngest of 3. There's no reason to ruin more lives than need to be lost in the worst of circumstances. Please be easy on him.
The probation's denied. Court has denied probation because of the seriousness of this offense. Your blood alcohol was double the amount allowed by law, 0.18. Your blood alcohol was over a 0.16 blood alcohol reading. So the court's going to sentence you to the high term, 48 months in state prison. We're going to have a restitution hearing. After you're released, you'll be placed in parole. All right, the sheriff's ordered to deliver the defendant to the custody of the Director of Corrections forthwith.
Thank you to the Every 15 Minutes team for facilitating this event. Counselors, staff, parents, you've given countless hours to this because you care, value, and love the people in this room. Thank you. Yesterday, we collectively experienced a crash. And here's some of what I experienced. We heard the crash, and then a quiet moved over the stand, and we all watched, again collectively, in suspended disbelief as the tragic accident unfolded, including our classmates and our friends. I didn't know Elijah Katz was going to emerge from the car and fall bleeding and leaving blood on my jacket. Elijah, wonderful actor, so moving and powerful in Laramie Project, so funny in Anything Goes. His blood on my jacket. My instinct was to assure him, and Madison and Michael and even Josh, it's gonna be okay, I'm gonna make it okay. Everything is gonna be fine. Josh kept saying, is Madison gonna be okay? And I wanted to say, hey, yes, we'll make it okay. Adults make it okay. But the reality is, when an accident happens, and we know they do, everything does not turn out okay. And we adults, we can't make it fine. Yesterday during the accident, I felt helpless as ambulances arrived and too many bodies emerged from the cars, bloodied and crying out. When the coroner asked Mr. Mercer to identify the body, and he said, it's Ike Fuchs, and he looked up at me. It was too much. It was too real. We, administrators, counselors, teachers, support staff, parents, campus supervisors, all of us want to shepherd you to college and to your bright futures. We believe in you, even when you screw up, and we want to protect you from hurt or harm, and it hurts us when we can't. Mr. Mercer said it right yesterday when he said, we're a family. And we stand for you when you hurt, feel stress, cut yourselves, and you make stupid decisions. This year, when Millie died, it affected us all differently and personally. And yesterday recalled the first day of school this year when we had to make that tragic, tragic announcement. And I don't want to do that again. Our schools surrounding us have continued throughout this year to have to deal with unprecedented deaths, accidents, suicides, and illnesses. This is so much for a community to deal with, to absorb. We walk around feeling and looking fine, but many of us are not fine. Josh was having a bad day. Sometimes we see somebody waving to us, and we think they're waving hello, but they're waving to get our attention. They're waving for help. And we have to be paying attention to those signals, and we have to be able to give those signals. Please allow this community that's in this room to care about you and to help you with stressful and challenging times. Don't turn to dangerous activities. I don't want to see Mr. Mercer's face. I don't want to see Mrs. Harris's pained face. I don't want to see Dr. Raleigh look away. Right now, I'm going to ask you to do something. Would you please take the hand of somebody that you're sitting next to and quietly hold the person who's sitting next to you, hold their hand, and silently promise your community that you will do your best to make good choices, to stay focused when you drive. In the most mature way you can, please commit to holding on to this day and pledge to be here for one another. Please hold on, be a community, make good choices, and together, let's treasure one another. Thank you.
Dear Abba and Ima, today I died, and there were so many things I never got to tell you. I never got to tell you how important you are to me. You guys truly are everything in my life. You have each taught me so much about the world and myself. You guys have taught me to be proud of the person that I am and to never forget how special and unique I can be. I never got the chance to tell you how much I look up to you guys. I have always felt like my purpose on earth was to please you guys and to follow in your path. And I have finally learned that I want to grow up to be the people that you are. I have never met such caring, giving, compassionate people like the two of you. And I feel honored that I was able to be raised by such incredible people. You guys have honestly changed my life around, and I wouldn't have been the same person if I didn't have you to guide me. I have no words to explain my appreciation for all that you guys have given me in life, and I've never felt so loved by anyone else before. You each make me feel like I'm a part of something bigger in this world. I want to thank you for always being there for me when I needed someone. I have no regrets, and I'm privileged to have you, Abba and Ima, as my amazing parents. I'm sorry that I never got to say goodbye on my 18th birthday. I love you.
Dear Chandler, every 15 minutes someone dies as the result of an alcohol-related collision. Today you died, and I never got the chance to tell you. I've told you how much I love you, and try to say it every day. And now that I can never tell you again, I don't think I truly conveyed how much I meant it. You're an unbelievable person with a light that shines much brighter than I think you know. Amidst all of your bravado, I know deep down that you're a true softie with a huge heart. You always make me laugh with your stupid impressions, maybe not as much as Mom does. Your care and concern for animals and those who are not strong never ceases to amaze me. I love the front you put on and the joy and the pride you take at being the hard-ass bitch when I know how easily some of the little things in life can make you melt. As I write this, I realize how angry I am that someone decided that their need to text their friend was more important than the life of someone who was as beautiful as you. You have filled my life from the day you were born and will do so as long as I live. As a triplet, just like your brother and sister, you are such a unique person, yet you are so much a part of something amazing. In one sense, I can't separate you from them. In another sense, you're so unlike them that I can't remember or figure out how you came from the same place. It's what makes you who you are, my special girl. I love you now and forever.
Dear Mom, today I died and never got the chance to tell you I love you. You're the reason I'm here, and I never really appreciated it or got the chance to tell you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the times I disrespected you. I'm sorry for all the times me and you fought. If I could be there with you right now, I'd give you all the love in the world. Sure, I know I've said a lot of things, but I've always loved you, even when I didn't show it, because I know these past few years haven't been our best. But regardless of that, I thank you for all that you've done for me. When my dad left, you were the one that kept a roof over my head. And if I could, I give you so much. All those years, not showing you what you meant after all you did for me. I'm so sorry. But I want to leave you these as my last words for you. Thank you for never giving up. I love you.
Dear Allison, every 15 minutes someone dies as a result of an alcohol-related collision. Today you died, and I never got the chance to tell you how much I loved you. I cannot even remember the last time I said I love you, and that is a terrible hurt. How many times did I tell you in the last month to clean your room or don't stay out too late? What I really meant to say is that watching you grow into a beautiful young woman has been one of the greatest things in my and your mother's life. What I really meant to say is that I love you. I love your smile, your pout, your kindness, and your fierce independence. Life can be ruthlessly unfair, and I never felt or understood that unfairness until today. If there is an afterlife, and that is a question for which I don't have an answer, I'm convinced that you will bring as much joy to that world as you have to our home these past 18 years. I love you, sweetie.
Dear Mom and Dad, today I died and I never got the chance to tell you how much you mean to me in this world. When I think about the most important thing to me in my life, it's not my friends, it's not my personal items, it's not basketball. It's the love I have with you guys, Bobby and Katie. Our life and family is something I can never forget. Lately, I've been so selfish and in my own world that I've lacked to give you the respect and appreciation you both deserve. Through the ups and downs, no matter what has gone wrong, you've always been in my corner and laid a perfect structure for me to succeed. My personal issues I've struggled with to defeat has had an impact on the household, and I apologize for not realizing and prioritizing. Dad, I'm sorry for how I've neglected to have a good relationship with you when you're truly my biggest fan. I didn't appreciate you, and when I was younger and you got cancer, I can't even remember what it was like. You were just always there. And the fact that you didn't die then and stayed in my life is something I treasure. You should know I truly do love you and will never take advantage of the time I have with you because the time is short. And same to you, Mom. Your wisdom and words have guided me through times, and imagining a world without you guys and our family is like having no world at all. I love you all so very much, and you have made me truly happy.
My dearest Taylor, every 15 minutes, one dies as a result of an alcohol-related collision. Today you died, and I never got the chance to tell you that my world changed the day you arrived. You have been such a gift to me, your father, and your family, and your friends. Your spirit of giving unconditionally never ceased to amaze me. You were always thoughtful of me and how I was feeling. Even today, as you said goodbye, you hugged me, told me you loved me, that I would be okay. I am so proud of you, as I would say to you every night when you were little, to infinity and beyond. What a beautiful, compassionate young man you became. You taught me so much about loving unconditionally. When your heart ached, so did mine. When you were over the moon, so was I. You are a part of my very soul and will always be. Thank you for the gift of yourself you gave me 17 years ago. Son, I will always love you. One last time, go Red Sox. Wahoo, Mom.
While the events that we have witnessed over the last 2 days have felt real, thankfully, they were not. We have been given a second chance to experience life together. Unfortunately, not everyone is so fortunate. Our next speaker has experienced this tragedy firsthand. They were not as lucky as each and every one of you. Please listen to their story and learn from their losses.
Yesterday was a reenactment for you. The students sitting up here will be reunited with their loved ones. We have an everlasting nightmare. We are the parents of Tim, 18, who is a senior, and Danny, 15, who was a sophomore at Canyon High. They were both killed instantly in a car crash, along with one of their classmates, a 16-year-old. Also killed was an innocent adult motorist. 4 lives perished that cold night on February 17th by a reckless teen driver. Our sons were backseat passengers in a car of 5 teens. The driver of the car chose to drive 100 miles per hour, causing him to lose control, go airborne, and land upside down on top of an oncoming car. Although the Every 15 Minutes program focuses on driving drunk or on drugs, we know firsthand that reckless driving can be just as deadly. We are here to talk to you as bereaved parents and to let you know what we went through with the death of our 2 sons. As we read the following, imagine that this is your parents going through this terrible nightmare. You can't even imagine what it feels like when a group of 3 teenagers comes to your door telling you that your son has been in a very bad crash and they don't think you made it. Imagine what it feels like to be stuck in traffic surrounding the crash and can't make your way through to see your son. To finally arrive at the crash scene, only be told that 2 teens were taken to the hospital for injuries and some were dead. But no one could tell us where our son was. To stand on Soledad Canyon Road, icy cold in the night, as the helicopters and the news crews are all around, trying to get information about your son and the crash. Imagine what it feels like to call our older son Scott and to let him know it was true, and Tim was dead. To be told the devastating news after Scott had arrived at the crash scene that our youngest son, Danny, might be in the car as well. Imagine what it feels like to hear those horrifying words from a sheriff's deputy confirming our worst nightmare, that yes, both our sons were dead. To be huddled together in the shivering night until 1:30 a.m., a short distance from the crash, until we knew our boys were loaded into the coroner's van. To pick out 2 coffins, 2 gravesites, and 2 headstones. To spend $20,000 on their funeral expenses instead of college. Imagine what it feels like to go through their closets to pick out what they were going to wear for the very last time. To go to the coroner's office to pick up their personal belongings, such as a smashed watch and a pager still beeping with messages. Imagine what it feels like to stand and look upon their lifeless bodies at the mortuary, knowing that all the dreams you had for them are forever gone. To close the lid on their 2 caskets, knowing we would never, ever see their faces again. To be seated in the church with 2,000 other people staring at their closed caskets, the numerous flower arrangements, and their poster-sized pictures. Imagine what it feels like when our last surviving child stands before the many people, crying while telling stories of how he loved and would miss his only 2 brothers. To say our last goodbyes before their caskets were lowered into the ground forever. Imagine what it feels like to go to their empty rooms and stare at all their trophies, trying to hold on to their smell, trying to remember their voices, or remembering the last time you had hugged them and said, "I love you." To go to the garage and see their dusty skateboards, hockey equipment, and snowboards, and Sea-Doo just sitting there. Imagine what it feels like to get phone calls for them and have to tell the caller that they are dead. To look at 2 separate death certificates with their names and the reason for their deaths. To place a for sale sign on Tim's car and then watched as a stranger drove it away. Imagine what it feels like to sit down for a family dinner and stare at 2 empty chairs, knowing they will always be vacant. To try and comfort their many friends crying, sitting in Tim and Danny's rooms asking, why? To try and get through a birthday, a holiday celebration, or even a vacation without them. You can't even imagine what it feels like to go to the cemetery every week and sit next to their headstone just to be next to them. Please don't put your parents through this terrible, everlasting nightmare. Teens and adults alike must realize that while they are driving, every decision and choice they make affects the life and safety of everyone around them. Hopefully, you will think about what we have just said as you get behind the wheel and make good choices. Remember, as a passenger, it is your life too. You have the right to get out of the car. You need to make good choices as well.
The one thing we'll always remember is Timmy and Danny telling us, oh, Mom, oh, Dad, nothing like that could ever happen to us. And look at us now. Thank you.
I
When I was asked to participate in this ceremony, I struggled with how to best summarize our experience. What we've gone through over the past 2 days was powerful. It elicited emotions, real tears, real sadness, loss, and emptiness. These are all real feelings. As we learned from our guests who have lived through this and survived the heartache, the absolute worst nightmare that a parent could ever get was that phone call telling them something was wrong, something bad had happened to their student, their child. I can't imagine. Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds, I'm truly sorry for your loss. I don't claim to know what you have felt. In fact, I can't imagine. I pray that I, or anyone else in this gym here today, never has to face that grief that you've gone through, having to bury a child before their time. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing your experience with us today. I trust that we can learn a valuable lesson from your story. Thank you for telling your story so that our school and that our community can gain insight and wisdom and have a chance to save lives. You've made a difference in our school and our community. You're the heroes today. Thank you. Thankfully, what we've experienced as a community over the past 2 days is not real. It's theatrics. It's powerful, touching theatric, but it's not real. The emotions were real, but we didn't lose classmates, we didn't lose friends, and we didn't lose neighbors. Thank God. To our parents, thank you for being part of this program. To the Cohen family, to the Holland family, to the Fuchs families, and all the families, how lucky are we at this very moment? How lucky that we have an opportunity to reset, to turn the clock back. This evening, we have the opportunity to sit at the dinner table with our sons and daughters and ask them, how was your day? To tell them that we love them. Let's seize that opportunity, continue setting good examples for our sons and daughters, and model the behaviors that we're looking for. To our students, you have a second chance to tell your parents that you love them, to tell them that you're okay. Mom, Dad, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. It could never happen to me. I got this. You have that opportunity tonight. Seize the opportunity. Learn from this experience. And now I ask everyone in the audience, but especially our students in the gym today, please take the time to reflect how your decisions, conscious or unconscious, affect your life and the lives of others. Life is full of choices. That's the great part. Don't live in fear, but you need to be aware that sometimes consequences are forever. It might not seem like it when you're 17, 18 years old, but life is a delicate and fleeting thing. Lead it to the fullest. Spend less time worrying and more time appreciating what you have. Value life and make good choices that support that. To Mrs. Friedman and everyone involved in the planning and participation of every 15 minutes, this concludes our program. May the message live on in our lives every day. Thank you.
Cold is the water, it freezes your already cold mind, already cold, cold mind. And death is at your doorstep, and it will steal your innocence, but it will not steal your substance. But you are not alone in this, and you are not alone in this. As brothers we will stand and we'll hold your hand, hold your hand. And you are the mother child, the one to whom you gave life. And you have your choices, and these are what make man great, his ladder to the stars.